Welcome and namaste. So happy to be here with all of you. And I just felt a calling to come on and talk with you a little bit. It's wonderful to share our experiences, what we're going through on this journey to awakening and enlightenment and better relationships is extremely important. And the most important thing we can do is share. Because when we share, we spark others to start looking and seeing what they're doing and how they're growing, and they're starting to have some realizations themselves about whatever it is we're talking. So it helps all of us. So I just want to say thank you to all of you. I love to be on live stream, and I want you to know we're starting to develop a nice program for you, so you'll be able to log in and do some more classes and courses with me and several others. And we really feel that it's important that we grow together. So, thank you so much. I thought we'd start with closing our eyes for a few minutes, taking some nice deep breaths. The breath is connected so beautifully to the mind and the kundalini, the spiritual energy. And so as we take very slow, conscious breaths, where our focus is on the inhale and exhale of the breath, slowly inhaling through the nose, and slowly exhaling about twice as long through the nose. Just that act of focused awareness of the breath relaxes the mind, quiets the mind, relaxes the body, and starts to allow the spiritual energy to start rising. So we're going to do 3 focused breaths, meaning you're going to bring your awareness directly to the breath. And we're going to take a nice slow inhale in and slowly exhale. Another breath in, nice and slow. And slowly exhale. One last time. Nice deep breath in. And slowly exhale. Now we're going to do a meditation called relaxation meditation. During this meditation, you're going to continue the focused breathing. So that means slowly inhaling through your nose and twice as long exhaling. This is very relaxing. And while we're doing that, I'm going to guide you through a relaxation meditation for the body. So you can continue to close your eyes and continue your slow breathing. And you're going to relax your shoulders. Relax. Relax your back. Relax. Relax the chest. Relax. Relax the stomach, relax, relax. Relax the legs, the knees, relax, relax. Relax the feet and the toes, relax. Continue your nice deep slow breathing. Relax your arms, your hands, your fingers. Relax. Relax. Relax your neck. Relax. Relax your head. Relax. Relax. Relax your eyes and your eyelids. Relax. Relax your lips and your teeth. Relax. Relax. Relax your whole body. Relax. Now we're just going to bring some beautiful light into the body. It's a healing light. Expand your consciousness a bit. So now as you breathe, you're going to visualize this beautiful golden light coming into the center of the chest, almost as if the sunlight has appeared. The sun itself appeared in the chest and is now expanding through the chest area, seeping deep into the lungs, the heart, all the cells. Now on the exhale, I want you to see a black smoke coming out, and look at it and see it going up and out of the atmosphere. Do it with your third eye, not with your eyes open. So you're breathing in the golden sunlight. You're letting go around the body in the chest area. And on the exhale, you're seeing black smoke go up and out of the universe. It's clearing whatever is there, whether it's psychological, spiritual, or physical. Whatever malady, imbalance is there, disease, it is clearing it out. So we're going to start that meditation. So taking breaths in, breathing in the golden light. That golden light is seeping deep down into the heart, the lungs, the cells, the breasts, anything and everything that's in the chest area. The thyroid, the thymus glands, all your glands, your muscles. Now on exhale, you're blowing out a black smoke that goes up and out of the universe. So now continue this. Visualizing the golden light coming in and the black smoke coming out. Let that golden sunlight get all into the chest area of the body. Let it go deep into the cells. If there's a known imbalance, see that golden sunlight surrounding that area intently, lighting it up, and then that area breaking apart and moving out of the body as a black smoke. You can see it clearing the lungs, clearing the arteries of the heart, balancing out the glands of the body. Now we're going to move that golden sunlight down to the belly, the area of the middle of the abdomen, and the lower also above the legs. That's the area where all your major organs, aside from the chest, are located. Your kidneys are there, your entire intestinal tract, your liver, your stomach, your gallbladder, your spleen, all of these are very important organs. See that golden light coming in, saturating all the organs, saturating all the cells, and any imbalances or disease is being balanced out, and the release is coming out as a black smoke. So you can continue the process of breathing deeply in, watching the cleansing with the golden light, and on the exhale, watching the black smoke go out. Breathing deeply in. That beautiful golden sunlight is seeping deep into the cells, all the organs, into the liver, and out with the black smoke up and out of the atmosphere, cleansing the body, balancing the system, bringing harmony, peace to the body. Now we're bringing this golden light down to the legs, into the feet and the toes. And again, you're going to see any imbalances, any pains in the legs, the feet, any neuropathies or numbness. You're going to see this light seeping into the muscle, the nerves, the bone, the fibers. Healing and balancing, and anything that's coming out of your breath is going to be a black smoke going up and out of the universe. See the cleansing happening to the legs and the feet and the toes. Bringing energy to the legs, healing, expanded consciousness to the body. Now we're going to bring that beautiful golden sunlight up the back, all the way up the spine, into the neck and the head, down the arms, hands, and fingers. See it filling these areas with the golden light. And if there's any imbalances in any of these areas, any back pain, neck pain, anything going on in the head, or in the hands, fingers, or arms, you see that being released as a black smoke. So you can take that golden light in, bring it up the spine, into the neck, the head, down the hands and fingers, and exhale the black smoke. Continuing to breathe out that black smoke, breathing in that golden light. Now you're going to see yourself, it's as if you are floating in a beautiful golden orb, a golden orb of sunlight. You're floating in that fully with all the light. It was in every cell. It came into all the cells of your body. You're saturated with it. You're floating in this healing space. Relaxed, calm, peaceful. And now you're going to see that golden orb gently sitting you down back where you are. And we can take 3 focused breaths, bringing in beautiful oxygen into our body with a deep breath in and exhale. Another breath in and gently exhale. Another breath in and slowly exhale. And you can open your eyes when you can. So I hope you're feeling more relaxed and open to receiving. Sometimes we just need a moment to relax our bodies, which relaxes our mind, and we're open to allowing the Kundalini energy to rise. Why do we care if the Kundalini energy rises, a spiritual energy? Because it actually, the more it rises, the better we feel. And we also are suffering lessons as our Kundalini rises. There's many practices people use to raise the Kundalini, which changes the perception. Everything shifts. We still, however, need to understand some things in life by sharing our experiences. So I'll share with you today some of the things that we're all experiencing seem to be sort of a theme, because there's one collective consciousness, and that collective consciousness is what we're all tapping into. That collective consciousness seems to have a theme each and every day, for as far as I can see. And for me, it's been identifying with stories or perceptions, or maybe a concept or some kind of illusion that we're identifying so strongly with that we make that more important than our actual relationships. So what happens to us is we get stuck, because I have been a nurse for 24 years, and I've been an emergency room nurse, but I've also been a nurse that's taking care of people dying, all sorts of different areas, from children up to adults. And I've also been a teacher now for 10 years, and I've listened to a lot of experiences. I've shared, I've helped people, and I've heard the most traumatic experiences that people have had here during their lifetime. So we all have had experiences that have caused us hurt as a child, in the womb, during our lifetime. So there isn't one experience that I could say is worse than another. You could definitely say some are more, they would be more violent. But to say that one is more terrible than another to the human being would be very difficult, because each of us actually perceives that experience differently. So for one person, a trauma that doesn't look so bad to another is devastating, and it causes them actually to be even suicidal. So we really can't gauge on some kind of chart where someone's trauma sits and how bad it is than somebody else's. It's really a perception-based thing. So we have to honor the space for everyone to have, so that people can actually start to feel comfortable in the way that they experience the traumas or the experiences that have hurt them, that they've had. So they can feel comfortable knowing that there isn't some kind of a scale, and that if they're hurting because of something that looks so small, that it's still okay. Because all that matters is the experience. Now, if you've had one that's caused you trauma as a child, it's because you were unable to actually fully experience it at the time, because one, you didn't have the tools. I guarantee you that your parents were a lot like mine. There might have been a few of you that had very conscious parents, but most of our parents were busy, they worked, and they weren't brought up to understand life like we have been given tools and an understanding much deeper. So they didn't have the tools to teach us, so therefore we came at our experiences the same way everyone else did, which was like this, which was pushing everything away, pushing it down, denying it, calling it something, making it into a concept, perceiving it as something dependent on our conditionings, and then it sunk down and became our reality. Now what happens as an adult is we basically will engage with that on a day-to-day basis. It becomes something alive for us every day, even though it's dead from the past. And the whole experience has a past to it that has embedded with it a thought. It has a bunch of thoughts surrounding it. It has some emotions surrounding it, some feelings. It has some stories surrounding it. So that whole thing comes up as a package each time. And it always comes up, but in different experiences. So it rises up because it has to mimic, like I've spoke to you before, everything has to mimic the natural state. You can't stop an electron from moving. So it has to mimic life, and life is always moving, growing, and it's nature. So nature intelligence, it must mimic that. So you can't say that it will stay stuck. It can't. It will keep rising. Some experiences will come and they will hit it and energize it so it can rise and complete itself and be flowing like life is naturally flowing. So that will happen, and when it does come up, it's what do you do in that moment that's important? Are you going to identify with it again? That's my story, that's my trauma. I had a terrible thing happen to me. You don't understand. This is what it's done to my life. Now I'm angry and hateful. Now I'm jealous. Now I'm this. And I deserve it because I have to have this kind of a thing every time because I got hurt. And I'm not saying that there's something wrong with that. I'm telling you to see that. We all do it. We do it and it's unconscious. We're doing it, it's unconscious. How do we know we're doing it? Because our relationships are telling us. They're saying, hey, I don't like the way you're treating me. Or, hey, the way that you just spoke to me wasn't very kind. Or, this has got blown up and my relationship ended because of it. Or, I got divorced. Or, there's so many things where you can now sit back and go, oh my God, I've been identifying with this story from a hurt for the longest time. I've been saying, I have to stand on my own because nobody's going to help me in my life and I'm going to just have to do everything myself. And you know what's going to happen to you if you identify with that story? You're going to get sick, tired, and you're going to be alone because nobody's going to want to help you. So you have to be the one that sits and goes, wait a minute, that's not supporting me in my life. I don't want to keep living life like this. Do you want to keep suffering? You have to ask yourself that. I have to sit down often and just sit there and go, wait a minute. That story is something that I am bound to somehow, and I keep wanting to be bound to it. Do I want to sit and see so that it can unrelease itself, unwind, let it dissipate, let it have its day? Let all the emotions come out and be free. It's like ripping off the top to a container, letting out all of the things that were stuck in that container. Maybe it was under pressure, right? And you let it out and it all comes flying out. And it's like, you must release that in order for you to actually grow, right? Because how can you continue if it's under pressure? And every time you have that story come up, you identify it and you reinforce that even more and more pressure gets added. And what happens is it will come up again because you cannot stop it because it will mimic life. It will mimic the flow of life. It will try to do what it's naturally born to do, which is to keep moving. So you can't stop it, and you're just going to keep packing it down and causing more problems for you when it rises up because it adds to it. It makes it even angrier. It makes it even more upsetting. And so the key to it is this. I'm going to share, because the only way for you to really see this, if I share a personal experience, and I don't mind, because if I care so much about what it is that I am, then what is it that I'm caring about? I'm caring about illusions. So I can care about illusions if I want to, except it's not going to get me anywhere because you can't build anything off illusions. You can't repair things off illusions. You can't move forward. You can't grow. Nothing can be done when you're sitting in an illusion. The only way you can grow is by looking at the truth, because upon truth is where you can build. You can grow, you can build, you can expand, you can create. It's a very creative space. If you try to create things off of conditionings and illusions and perceptions and all of that, you're going to fail, or you're going to have no joy in whatever you create. You're going to feel empty because of it. So when we create something from this space, which I like to call the heart center, which is the truth, then it's so full of love, isn't it? You're creating it from a space of love. You're creating it from a space of truth. Truth can be difficult. It's hard to share it, isn't it? Oh, I'm a spiritual teacher. I'm supposed to be greater than all of you. I'm a simple human being, by the way. There's nothing great about me. I literally care about this journey. I want to grow. That's the only difference. I want this more than anything in the world. I want to see myself. I want to hear what my friends have to say about me. I want to keep seeing where I'm uncomfortable. I want to keep seeing where I feel jealous or scared. There's a lot of fear that rises in this journey when you're not given what you want, or you think you should have something, you deserve it. Yes, 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 fear will be there. Yes, but do you want to continue your story that you deserve that, or do you want to just see what's there and open the door? You're going to find something completely different there. You're going to find out what the truth is behind the fear, which I'd rather do. I don't have time to sit in illusions anymore. They're too wasting of my energy, and they waste my time when I could be focusing on the truth. And then I can build something fantastic. So recently we had, there was a teaching basically that talks about the discovery of self-awareness, let's just say, because you have to discover the self. You have to actually go in and see what's in there. That's what I'm talking about. It's the discovery of the self, not the discovery of the external world, the illusions and all of those things which you'll never really discover because there's nothing there. Those illusions are there because there's just something stuck. And once you see that and it releases, that illusion is gone. So how can there be reality there? What's left though is peace, it's quiet, it's love, it's all of the truths. The truths of Satchidananda, existence, consciousness, bliss. It's that silence, it's those things that are left there. And when you build off those, it's very powerful. So with this whole thing, this whole week of last week, I think it was, sorry about timing, I'm not so good at that anymore. So it was all about the self-awareness, but really looking at these, identifying these stories. And so what happened to me was I saw that a lot of people give me gratitude. You know I do a lot of things, right? Of course you do. I not only have been, for 10 years, I've been streaming, I've been offering courses, classes, posting teachings. I've made it part of something of my life, right? I've identified with this as being part of Debra, Apsara, right? She does this. And so a lot of people give me gratitude. Now, what I saw was I never accepted it. Not in a way that said, no, 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 I'm not accepting your gratitude. But I was very sneaky about it. So I would say, oh, no, that's God doing that. Or, oh, no, that's just Amma Bhagwan. So I never actually took the gratitude from them. So I didn't complete it. I never completed the cycle. So guess what happened? Because when a human doesn't feel like their gratitude was accepted, guess what we keep doing? We give more gratitude. No, really, I really am appreciative. No, no, no. I know I thanked you before, but I have to thank you again. So I sat there and I looked at that and I'm like, oh my God, Debra. So this is a beautiful little thing I created. Every day I'm getting tons of gratitude. So it's like a little drug for me. I'm taking my drugs every morning, every afternoon, every night, and I'm getting all of this surge of significance. So what was really important to me was the significance, not the gratitude. So you think I'm such a grateful human being, right? Oh, I'm so grateful. But I really discovered I wasn't. I really only cared about significance. Is it something I was conscious about? Of course not. I was only conscious about it after I started to see. I started to see what was happening in my life and how I was playing this game. It was very manipulative, isn't it? But it's not in a hurtful way, right? You'd say, but it does hurt because it never lets the person in my life give me what they need to give me in order for them to be released. So I'm literally tying all of these people to me day in and day out, hundreds of them, sucking the life out of them to get my own significance. beautiful story, isn't it? Now, so what do I do? Because I'm seeing this. And I'm very clear that I'm sorry, but I don't want to continue it. I mean, it's hurting myself. It's hurting others. Because the truth isn't that. You should be able to accept gratitude and give gratitude. That's the truth. Gratitude is not a one-way street. It's a flow. It means someone gives you gratitude and you're able to accept it, and then you give others gratitude. There has to be a completion. It's part of karma. You have to have some karmic retribution with everything you do. That means if someone does something nice, you must then give back. So if I never allow people to give back, I never really give the karma an ability to work all the way through. So that means I'm stopping my own growth because I'm playing in the illusion world. Because you can never gain the significance you want when you're craving it. The craving only comes from this external world. As you can see, it causes destruction. It causes problems. It causes all sorts of things. It's called energy wasting. So now I sit, I've made my intention. I took a tatwamasi. I said, I am going to see this. I am seeing this. This is what I am doing right now. I'm not moving. As a matter of fact, I'm very strong with my God. I am not moving until I see this very strongly within me. That what is behind this? What is behind this craving? And so I sat and I saw it was very mystical, because remember, everybody has a different way of seeing. Some people see mystically, they'll see visions, others feel, others don't see anything, but they have the sense of knowing. So you can't understand why we all see how we do. It's not that someone's left out because they don't see a mystical experience with their eyes open or closed, or if they don't see a form or they don't feel. You have to allow yourself to be unique and let the experience happen as it happens. Some feel emotion, some don't. They just feel a peace at the end. So for me, I see things. So I see this Debra, really all she is doing. So what I was shown for this experience was me blindfolded and walking on my journey. So I'm walking along blindfolded. And there's this Debra who's digging a big, huge ravine. And that's all she does all day long because she's got to keep up. Because there's nothing that's stagnant. It's not like this is there all the time. It has to keep being continued. So that Debra is down there exhausting herself, digging the big, huge crater. And blind little Debra falls in it every time because she can't see. So down she goes into the big crater hole, and she goes and falls into the trap of significance again. And she knows no way out. Okay, this is all she knows every time she walks every day on her journey and falls into this hole. So now this Debra has to keep digging the hole every day, so she's exhausting herself. That's the Debra that has the problem. Okay, that's the stuck Debra I met. And she, I mean, you should have seen her hands. It was raw from digging day in, day out. So she was stuck somewhere. She looked to me like about in her, I say teenage years. So some big experience happened to me when I was in my teenage years that stuck me there. And it caused a lot of problems for me. Now, what I did was I put my awareness on her. What happens when we put awareness on something? It stops. In that moment of seeing, that's the freedom. It's not something that happens. It's just instant. Boom. Debra stops digging and staring at me. And I see her all cut up. In my heart, I'm dying inside to see her that way, because she's God to me, right? She's my higher self. She's the love of my life. I see and feel her as if I'm standing there in front of my Lord with his hands bleeding, which would kill me. That's the way I felt with this Debra standing in front of me. I wanted to run and grab her and say, so I yelled out to my divine, my God, and said, you have to help her. Right now, you have to help her. I can't take it. I actually couldn't take it. When we call out with that much passion, guess what happens? That Lord goes immediately. Takes this little girl. I see mystically my Lord holding her in the lap. Big girl too. Putting drink, some kind of drink that's helping her heal. Little by little as I'm watching, because I'm not going anywhere until this girl's healed, I see her start healing. She's feeling better. She stands up. And I'm like, oh my God. She's dressed like a businesswoman, which was so funny, because I've always been a little Hindu girl or a little bohemian girl. Maybe I have an inner business girl. So she came back over to me and she hugged me and went inside. And since that happened to me, some kind of clearing took place. Do I understand it? No. But once you see, you are free. It's done. A process happens if you're really strong about wanting to see. Once you see and your awareness is there, a process happens. And that's what happened to me because I was so intent on seeing. I didn't go to the other end that says, no, I'm not, I don't crave significance. No, I deserve people to tell me I do. No. That's getting you nowhere. I went right into what is going on, and I have no problem being that was there. And in that, that's what drove all of this healing to take place. Now, what healed? I don't know. I don't even bother because all I know is that I woke up different from this experience. I feel different. I realize that I need to sit down now and look at my life and see where am I wasting my energy on things that really aren't heart-centered. I got to actually, for the first time, sit and see where my desires were from the heart or were the desires from some kind of a significant seeking behavior. And I realized that I really only want to do things from my heart. I actually don't have any desire to do something that isn't from my heart anymore. And yes, it's very quiet there, by the way. And it's silent and it's peaceful when you do things from your heart. There's not a big bang and a big bunch of stuff. And what I also saw was there's kind of a reset that has to take place. Because it was similar to when I did pujas online years ago. I stopped doing them. You know why? And I'm going to share with you the real truth because I don't care what I'm perceived as. Because all the things you believe in me are illusions. The only truth to me is empty. So whenever I speak about myself, it's not a problem. So what happened to me was I was doing pujas. And I clearly saw I was serving myself because I'm online, I'm getting all the significance. I never did a puja to God. Can you imagine all those years? I'm so sorry if I upset you, but it's true. So I stopped doing them. I needed a reset. I needed to learn to serve God and do a puja to God. And guess what happened? Well, I didn't want to do them for the first month. Well, I didn't get that. It's like a drug. If you're getting drugs, you don't have any desire to do something without the drugs. But you're going to go through withdrawal, So I went through my withdrawal period, which lasted a month or so. And then I decided I was going to try to do puja to God. And I'm going to tell you, it was the most profound thing I ever did. I learned first, and then I started to feel. And now when I sit there in front of the Lord and do a puja, it's unbelievable. There's no words to describe how beautiful it is because it's from my heart. Now, some of these things I've been doing, I have to sit back and see. Why was I doing them? And I realized that as a teacher, I love to teach. And it's incredible. It doesn't fall away from me, which is neat. I love it. I love to share with you. I love to see your growth. I love serving people. I started to really look at what do I actually love. And I'm a nurse during the day, and I do love taking care of those patients. They're beautiful. It brings tremendous joy to my life to go and help people who have medical problems or they need a friend. And I want to be that friend for them. But I also want to be friends for you. I want to support you on your journey because we don't always know. We need somebody to go, you know what? I jumped in there, right? I'm going to share with you that I jumped into a place that's scary and I could have not jumped in, but I did. And I'm going to tell you what happened to me. Because if we do that, then you're going to get stronger to jump into some places that you don't want to go. So the best thing that we can do in life, really the best thing we can do is look at our relationships. Look at what is happening around us. Look at the fear that's rising. Feel the emotions. Feel them on your chakras. Go, oh, I feel a lot of fear. What is going on? The fear is not, this is what's your clue. These are energy centers that will clue you into what is happening in your life. It clues you in. When I see that person, I feel sick. Well, you need to work on your relationship more. What are you going to do? Keep saying that there's something wrong with them? Or are you going to work on yourself? There's many layers to some relationships. Some have a lot of deep karma. But if you want to repair your relationships inside yourself, then those will repair. Some take a lot of time. You may have to do some things you don't understand, but allow the process to be there. It's as timely as it needs to be. You are unique beings. We don't know how long things take. Healing takes as long as it takes, but you must ask yourself the right questions. You really must. You must ask yourself, when this relationship is there, how do I feel? What emotions rise in me? What feelings rise? What thoughts are there? Write them down. What thoughts loop in your head while this person is with you? Those things will give you a clue as to what's happening. Now you've got to sit and you've got to look at your life. Look at where that could be coming from. If it isn't as easy to identify the story, then keep at it. You know, you've got to put a lot of effort into this job. This is a big job, your self-realization. Because when you realize and realize and realize a self, eventually it all just breaks down, the illusions. And the only thing that you see then is, not even see, you are, is the Satchidananda. You are the Ananda. Bliss is there no matter what is happening. The more that I move into a self-awareness journey, the more bliss is in my life. I wake up every day happy. Granted, I'm a happy person, but it isn't if I could put my life out in a thing and you could all dissect it and go, well, it's because Debra's life, she's a happy person. No. It could look like all these traumas, but it's that I have seen. I have seen that the things that occurred for a reason, that I have grown tremendously from my experiences. My consciousness has expanded. My relationships, it's important I repair them. I put effort into it. And that effort grew me. Those hurts grew me. Those stories grew me instead of hurting me. So I had to see those things that way. The only way to see that is to actually start to see how you're identifying with the story and saying it's you. Because if you identify with something, then how are you going to change that? You're saying to the universe, I am that hurt. I am that physical illness. I rarely say that I have back pain. I just say there's back pain. Because there's back pain. And some days there's not back pain. There's hip pain, but some days there's not hip pain. There's just hip pain. I know many people that have hip pain. I know many people that have back pain. It's there. Am I going to every day focus on it being mine? No. I'm just going to see that it's there and ask my Lord to help guide me as to what exercises I need to do. What do I need to do to help myself feel good enough to go out in this world and help? And how do I clear some of the stuck energies that are surrounding that area? Because it's around any lower back pain or mid back pain. Think about it. Right through the center of the back, right here is the power center. So you know you've got mid back pain, you got a lot of power center stuff to work on, that third chakra. You got second chakra stuff, which I don't know about you, a lot of lower back pain in this world, a lot of problems with relationships, right? That chakra goes right through to the lower back. It's at the base of the spine. So we must work on these things. They will help you physically feel better. They will help you emotionally feel better. They will help you spiritually expand your consciousness. And we must be real. We're just regular people. If we have good friends and we really go on this journey, anybody, I don't care where you are, you can be away in a jail watching this, can do this. Anybody can go on a self-awareness journey. It just takes you and the wanting. So what I thought we'd do is we'll take you through a little process and a little bit of a meditation, and I'm going to also send a blessing because, you know, I believe that the blessings that I receive from Sri Amma Bhagwan, which I do receive for every day, every single day I take Diksha twice a day. If you want to transform and you want to use Diksha, find yourself a Diksha giver. Take this Diksha I give right here online. Or give it to yourself if you're a Diksha giver. This is what I do twice a day. I either take it off padakas, I have this cap. Some of you know about the cap I use to give Diksha. Whatever you can do. It helps me to see. So it's up to you. You might have another way of doing it that helps you. I have friends that do other techniques. They work beautifully. I've seen much growth in them. Something from your heart. Okay? So you're going to close your eyes. Take some nice deep breaths. Remember, you're focusing on the heart center, the seat of love, because that is where we're going to ask for our guidance to come from the higher self, that beautiful Satchidananda, the nature intelligence. We're going to ask that nature intelligence to help us through this process of identifying a story and seeing if we can bring it into our awareness, and asking our divine to help us to process it. So take some nice breaths in and slowly exhale. Another breath in and slowly exhale. One more breath in and slowly exhale. So I want you to take yourself to a special place, and that can look any way you want. It could be at the mountaintop with a beautiful breeze overlooking this valley of grass. It could be out in the desert, silent and quiet in the sand. It could be at the water, looking at the ocean waves. However it looks for you, I want you to bring yourself to a very quiet, sacred space for you that you feel comfortable in. You're by yourself, but fully supported in this moment. Just take a moment and create that sacred space in your mind and place yourself there energetically. Maybe one of your animals is there with you that gives you comfort, your cat or your dog or your horse. For those of you that need a little company, feel safe. So now once we settle into this space, we're going to be comfortable. So either put yourself a nice comfortable chair, or you're sitting in a comfortable area, that the grass or one of your yoga chairs or mats. And as you're sitting there, I want you to focus on asking the heart center, however that looks for you, that nature intelligence, however that manifests for you, to help guide you on this journey to discovering a story that you've been relating to instead of relating to the relationships. You've been relating to the illusion, the story, the image, instead of the relationship at hand. And it's causing conflict or pain for you. So I want you to spend a few minutes just to allow that story to rise for you. Just keep breathing and focusing on the beautiful energy that's in the nature. Now, as you bring this story into your perception, into your awareness, I want you to see, does this story support you in your life? Does it bring you happiness, joy, peace, relaxation? I want you to just recognize if it brings you these things or not. Or does it drain your energy, make you angry, hateful, violent, jealous, dissatisfied, unhappy. Now the second inquiry is, do you wish this to continue if it's becoming a problem for you, making you miserable? Do you want to continue the story if it's causing you all of these feelings that are hurting your life? Do you want to? You ask yourself that. Sometimes it's very difficult to let go of something that we've identified with as being us. We believe in it. It's a truth for us somehow. Now I want you to hold the story, and I want you to see what kind of emotions rise when that story is there, what kind of feelings are there, what kind of thoughts come, what kind of behavior comes out of you, what age do you feel like? Ask yourself all these questions and sit and see if something shows you what all of those that whole package is around that story. Is it fear that rises? Is it anger? Dissatisfaction? Sadness? Do the thoughts speak things like you're not good enough? You're better than others? You're right, that person is wrong. The thoughts come that show you can dominate others. Or do you try to make it all right by saying it's fine just as it is? I'm keeping that story. Now that you have an understanding of the story a little more, I want you to put your awareness on it. And I want you to decide in this moment, do you want to ask your divine, your inner guidance, your heart center, that nature intelligence to help you? To allow more awareness to be there and a process to be there? Sit and see if that's what you'd like to ask. And if it is, then ask that to happen. you have to take a stand, tatwamasi. Take a stand that story is over, and you're going to walk in the truth of what's actually there, even if it's scary. And you're going to open up that heart. You're going to see what's there. You're going to stand strong knowing you're supported. And allow that to unfold in whatever story, whatever process needs to happen to show you, whatever emotion needs to release. You just keep breathing and confronting it. Breathing and allowing the emotions to be there. Just allowing the story to break up pieces and break apart. Part of your identity falls away with it. An illusionary identity. You are not those traumas. You are not those hurts. Now, if some of you have discovered an age that you feel like you were when this hurt was there, you could hold yourself. You could just take yourself in your arms. I like to visualize myself around the age of that wounded child and hold that child with such tenderness and love. And just sit and hold that child who's been wounded. And I'm going to send a blessing while we're holding our child, our inner child, healing our inner child. Letting that inner child process, allowing a sacred space for it to occur, so it can have its energy being released, and its energy can thrive all over the universe, no longer stuck inside, can be free. You're just going to keep relaxing, receiving. And hold your inner child, giving it love. Holding your beloved child, your beloved inner child. from your sacred space back to where you're sitting. With more peace, feeling more expanded, more awareness, and more gratitude. Thank you very much. I feel very blessed. Namaste to all of you. And you have yourself a beautiful day of seeing.